So the new Infinity Train Book 4 trailer is out, and things are already looking pretty interesting. I of course have some thoughts as well as some predictions, so I figured, hell, why not make a video outlining them? I'll be discussing Book 4's possible plot and themes, as well as why they may not necessarily go in the way that you might expect. But before we get into all of that, let's start off by establishing the facts. We have two quote-unquote best friends turn up inside the train at the same place at the same time, which is apparently a complete anomaly. Most likely, they're going to have to work out their relationship issues to escape. Also, their companion is a service belle for some reason. I already love her. Back to the boys though, what do we know about them? Judging from his outgoing, almost chaotic demeanor, Ryan seems like an extrovert. Both of them are musicians, but from his wild hair and the fact that he plays electric guitar, it's more likely that he's more of a rock star than Min is. Min-gi, on the other hand, plays the stylophone, an almost nerdy sort of instrument, and seems a bit more introverted. Not to mention his attire is more formal. He also may be a bit more cautious than Ryan, as Min-gi appears to scold him when he's recklessly running around on the train. I feel like while Min-gi may be more of a logical thinker, Ryan might be more emotional, which would definitely be an interesting dynamic. They're best friends, so what do we know about their history together? Well, we're told that they had dreams of being in a famous band as kids. However, it's looking like things might have not turned out the way that they planned. They presumably aren't famous, and now they argue all the time, which is in stark contrast to the way they appear to act together as kids. But it does make some degree of sense. They have very different personalities, so falling out kind of seems normal. However, Kez, the service belle, says something very striking.
And you guys are mortal enemies too? What are the odds?
This is more than just a simple falling out. They're starting to resent each other. Ryan and Min are at each other's throats enough for Kez to think they're mortal enemies. Yet they were, and still continue to, call themselves best friends. You'd think this book is definitely shaping up to be about toxic friendships, right? To an extent, sure. But I feel like things may pan out in a much more interesting direction. To figure out what exactly that direction is though, let's talk about what circumstances lead to the train abducting people. A big theme with people who come on the train is denial. The passengers actively choose to believe in a lie, and the train forces them to confront the truth. For example, Tulip chose to believe that her parents betrayed her by divorcing, despite knowing deep down that it wasn't their fault and that she was being selfish. Grace and Simon told themselves that gaining numbers was a good thing, despite evidence suggesting the contrary. In fact, Book 3 did the very clever thing of giving the characters the same lie and showing us both what happens when one overcomes it and the other doesn't. Giving characters a lie to believe in is character writing 101. Characters will have a want, something external which leads their journey. For example, wanting to escape the Infinity Train. In other words, it drives the plot. But characters also have a need, something internal that leads the character's arc. In other words, it drives the show's theme. So how exactly does all of this apply to Book 4? Well, we already know that the characters both hold the lie that they're best friends, and there's a few ways that this might pan out. The nicer, perhaps more standard route is that they're on the train to realise their relationship is in a bad place and that the season will be about fixing their toxic friendship. Maybe they need to learn more honesty, talking about what isn't working between them, and trying to come to some sort of compromise. Each room may force them to open up with each other, and although there'll be some unforeseen obstacles and more meta elements such as a side plot with Amelia or something, by the end of the book, their relationship will be healthy and they'll finally be able to escape the train. Or maybe as Ryan and Min-gi progress through the train, they not only realise that they are no longer best friends, but even if they were, that they wouldn't be able to work out together. And I think their need is to realise this. It's not uncommon for friends to grow apart, and as they grow older realise that they want different things. And I think it's very likely that these two people want different things out of life due to their very different personalities. Sure, both seem to want to become famous making music, but that alone isn't going to necessarily give them a happy life. Their want doesn't line up with their need, but they appear to be desperately clinging on to each other, despite the obvious pent-up resentment. They're dangerously codependent to one another. They're not ready to admit that yet, and that's why I believe they're on the train. Thematically, Infinity Train is a very real and grounded show that's brutally honest about life's hard-to-swallow pills. So this kind of thing seems perfect for it to tackle. Sometimes things don't work out, even between two people who really love each other. With that being said, do I necessarily think they'll have an unhappy ending? Definitely not, just because they can't have the shared career together like they once wanted. That doesn't mean they can't still be best friends, even if they have to be apart. I mean, we even have Ryan saying this:
"It's okay, man. I'm not going anywhere. I won't leave you."
Which suggests to me that although their friendship will be put in jeopardy, they'll still be there for each other, apart or not. This was a lot of fun to speculate and talk about, and I can't wait to see how Ryan and Mingi's relationship develops as the season goes on. I hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, remember to give it a like. Don't forget to comment with your thoughts down below, subscribe for more content from me, and I'll see you next time.